Mercury retrograde. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, guys, hang on to your asses. It's time for another Mercury retrograde. Really, it's not that serious. This one's entirely in the sign of Leo. We are going to use the celestial bodies. It's like an oracle deck, just because it's so pretty to illustrate what's going on. Because look at this artwork. It's so pretty. This deck will be linked below. Mercury retrograde. So a Mercury retrograde, or any retrograde really, is going to have three parts. The first pass, so in this case, degrees 14 through 15. Then the retrograde is 15 to 4, and then the post shadow is going to be 4 to 15. So you want to look at June 30th all the way till July 18th to kind of see what was going on, because July 18th through August 11th is going to be the period of time where you're going to be reflecting on that. And then after the 11th through the 24th of August, that's when you get your final shot to get it right. So essentially that's what a retrograde is or does. And it's really not as hard or terrible as you think it is. Although Mercury is a little annoying because it's a trickster and he will fuck up your electronics, whatever. It's not always the most fun, but it's not as bad as everyone thinks that it is. So this one starts out with an opposition to Pluto. And at the end of the actual retrograde, you'll see that opposition again. So this one is going to be a little intense. There's definitely going to be opportunities for uncovering certain things that might be hidden in the way that you think, process information, communicate, or things that have been communicated to you. We are dealing with the sign of Leo. Leo is a lot about your ego, your children, your childlike wonder, those things that make you very happy, those things that give you purpose. Now, on the 31st of July, we are going to have what's called a Mercury cazimi. A cazimi is when there is an exact, within minutes, conjunction with Mercury and the Sun. This is always going to be an aha moment. So pay attention to July. I'm just double checking my notes. I'm like, July 31st for that cazimi moment. So usually there's going to be like a very brief period during that day where you're going to have this oh shit, okay, that makes sense moment. Now leading up to it, you might be struggling or having some challenges because when Mercury is next to the Sun, it does kind of burn it away a little bit. And when it's coming out, it's not quite as intense, but it is a little challenging. But when you get that final, post-shadow opportunity to redo, you're going to know exactly what you're supposed to be working with or covering. So that is my little rundown. Let's get into each sign and what it means for you. Libra risings. This is happening in your 11th house. This is your house that deals with your friends, your friend groups, your associations, work associations. Social media will often be covered in the 11th house, as are your hopes and dreams. So you might be reconsidering what you actually want to do with your life in terms of your hopes and dreams. You might be reconsidering certain friend groups, maybe deciding you want to be in certain friend groups, or perhaps you're going to have realizations about certain particular individual friends. A Mercury retrograde in the 11th house, it's an important one for sure, but not necessarily as heavy as some of the others, but hopefully it'll be fine. Maybe I'll make new friends. That's always exciting. Scorpio risings. This is happening in your 10th house. This is an angular house, so this will feel a little bit more critical for you, but you're a Scorpio rising, everything always feels more critical for you. But with that opposition to Pluto, I feel like this is going to be a pretty critical Mercury retrograde for you. You're reconsidering things within your career. You're reconsidering those things that we do for legacy. So this is obviously going to be a huge retrograde for you. You might be reconsidering what you want to study. Now, I know that's 9th house, but we are thinking in terms of your career. Certain certificates maybe you're thinking about going for. Maybe you're realizing that maybe that's not what you want to do long-term anyway, and so you pull back. It's not the end of the world. It is going to feel rather intense. It's probably going to be a little bit longer lasting than other retrogrades for you in terms of the longevity of the lessons, but take it with a grain of salt. this is what you guys do. Good luck. Sagittarius risings. This is happening in your 9th house. We are dealing with higher education, long distance travel, similar to the Scorpio risings where I said you might be reconsidering what you want to study, where you want to study, where you want to go. Maybe you've made some plans for some international travel and now you're trying to figure out if you need to reconsider it. Maybe with the Leo involvement, you've spent a little bit too much money on it and now you need to pull back and maybe either invite someone to go with you to split costs, or maybe you don't need to stay in the nicest hotels because you know you're going to be running around all the town anywhere. So that is kind of not the most critical of Mercury retrogrades on the planet. Hopefully it won't be too hard for you. It's in a fire sign, you're a fire sign, so I feel like this won't be as hard or challenging for you. So have a good one. Capricorn risings, this is happening in your 8th house. This is not everyone's favorite house, but you're Saturn ruled, so I'm pretty sure you'll pull through this one just fine. 8th house is other people's resources or the esteem of others. You're dealing also with the taxes, loans, things like that, money that you weren't expecting. So, you might be looking at how you're investing. You might be looking at, what you're maintaining paperwork wise to file taxes at the end of the year, things like that. You could also be dealing with like certain death and rebirth issues, as the 8th house is often associated with that. It goes without saying, although it is a very basic thing to say. There's also intimacy. You might be dealing with intimacy issues, maybe checking your ego, like you think that possibly showing or expressing a deeper kind of love is beneath you, but you really need to kind of check that ego to show someone that you really actually care about them. Joining your resources with others, you might look at reconsidering your opinion on that. So this one's going to feel a little heavy, but again, you're Saturn ruled. You'll be fine. You'll pull out just fine. I have faith in you, Capricorn risings. Aquarius risings, you guys are next, and this is happening in your 7th house. You and Aries risings are the ones that are most likely to have like the ex come back. Yours is a little bit more serious though because it's in your 7th house. You might also be looking at and refiguring how you show up in partnership. Now, this doesn't have to just be like marriages. It could also be business partners, anybody that you're signing contracts with. Now, people coming back could also be in that category. It doesn't have to be romantic partnerships, but it often is. So you might also be looking at contracts. Be very careful with whatever contracts you're signing at this time. Because we're dealing with Leo, anything where the ego might be involved, just be very, very careful when dealing with others that you're signing contracts with or for. Don't sign anything without getting a second set of eyes on it. Contracts during a Mercury retrograde are notoriously at risk of like having things in it that you didn't see the first time or you missed or overlooked. So be careful with that. That is your Mercury retrograde. So good luck with that, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Pisces rising, and y'all are always last. I'm sure you guys love it. I'm sure you guys are like, look at them saving the best for last. But you always gotta wait. You always have to wait until the very end of the video. But let's get into it. This is happening in your 6th house. You are reconsidering or thinking about mulling over how you spend your day. Your daily routines, your health routines, could also be your pets, dogs, cats, small critters that you hold domicile over, care for. Often it's your coworkers. How are you communicating with them, responding to them, participating with them? How you're managing your day-to-day tasks or routines. Maybe you're trying to pretend like you have everything under control because it's in Leo, but really you don't. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Just because you can't manage everything you have to do on your own doesn't make you a failure. Ask for help, okay? Get that to-do list done. Have your kids help you out. All right, so that's what I have for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.